way now. I'm on my 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 way now. I'll be going away for a while. Oh, and I don't know what I'll find. Maybe I can be a rock star, playing songs on my guitar. I know I have to be somewhere else to be able to find myself. Shouldn't be so complicated. If I listen to my heart, I'm gonna leave it all behind. Find myself, I'm gonna start over.
Good morning. I had such a good, restful night. I got up at 4 in the morning, which is an hour later than I've been getting up. I've been getting up at 3 in the morning. And yeah, I've been getting a lot of insights already, so it's time to regroup and just journal a little bit and put those down so that I can just compact them and move on. So today is Sunday. It is the last day. I cannot believe it is the last day, because when I first got here, it seemed really far away, and I was definitely resisting the first day. So I was like, no, that seems like really far away. But anyway, today we're gonna do sound bowl therapy, or sound bowl session, instead of yoga. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm gonna start getting up here in a second. Take a shower. There's a microphone in here, so you guys can hear me, because I feel like I'm speaking kind of soft. And I don't know what to think about the fact that it's almost time to go home. I'm excited because of everything that I've learned and just regrouped, and oh my gosh, the amount of growth and expansion that has happened in these last few days is insane and beyond my wildest dreams, and the level of clarity and understanding. Time is so weird. Like, what is time? Because it feels like we've been here for weeks. And I am sad. I am kind of sad that it's the last day. I mean, I'm ready and excited for the future, and especially everything that I compacted and regrouped and healed to get me to this point to move forward into my new life. But it's nice. It's nice to be in an environment where I can nurture myself and I can love on myself, and I can be all those things that I am for other people to myself, for myself. Yesterday when we were dancing, it's like all the energy that I put out towards other people in relationships and just in my regular day life, it's like I've been projecting it onto myself, and I was dancing, just really enjoying my own company, just really, really falling in love, beginning a new relationship with myself, which is really cool. The beginning of a beautiful, loving relationship with myself. Best kind of relationship, man. Best kind of relationship. Most fulfilling and rewarding, which, I mean, really it's everything, because how I am to myself is kind of how I attract what others are like around me. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start the day. Woohoo! Yes, I just got up. I took a bath. It's almost time for the sound bowl, but as you guys saw yesterday, we did a fire ceremony over there in the little fire pit at night, and it was just one of the coolest things ever. It was just solidifying my new self, basically. And a lot of love and a lot of soul sisters. Here's the setup, although you can't really see it on the video for the sound bowl. Here's our sound bowl expert, Jesus. Melody of Love. I'm introducing
Melody
you.
of Love, yes indeed.
Everybody, this is Melody of Love. Just getting the bowls ready. And this is what the outside looks like. Oh. Should we do a little setup over there for the sound bowl? And speaker. Just had the tiniest little break. Or have this morning session. We've had 2 breaks so far, but it's about manifesting and law of attraction and miracles and stuff like that. And it's already huge for me, but I'm so sad I'm leaving today. Anyway, I should probably run because it was a tiny break. So I think of anything that I might have forgotten about, but I don't think so. I think I got everything down and compact. We are on a tiny, well, not a tiny break, half an hour to eat lunch, because then we're gonna finish and wrap up the day, and then I'm gonna head to the airport with another girl and somebody else. I think 3 of us. We're gonna start driving to the airport, and then I'm just gonna wait till 1 in the morning, because that's the time I'm flying. 1 in the morning. But I don't mind it too much, because I think that I don't really mind being at the airport, and also I can always like journal and I have stuff to do, you know. That's it for this update. I just got back to the room. We got our certificates. We are done. This day is over. So I'm in my room. I'm kind of feeling exhilarated. Quickly packing, because I gotta get on the road with the girls, but I will regroup and let you guys know, just because we did this regrouping where we said where we were at when we got here and where all the shifts that happened and where I am now are huge, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. Just time is, I don't have that much right now, but I will share that with you guys. And talking to me. See, it's already started. Oh. It's already recording. Well, hello guys. You haven't met the 4th facilitator, or the one you haven't met anyways. Here she is.
Hi there. I'm Christina.
And
nice to see you.
She did yoga in the mornings, which was huge for me in this retreat, because my heart is now open thanks to you. It was amazing. I bawled my eyes out in the first yoga session, and I didn't even realize how important it was to breathe in and out through my body, Anyway, I just really wanted to introduce you, and I'm gonna share. I've been sharing a lot, but I wanted to put a face, you know, for everybody out there. Look at this life-changing person. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars.
Guys, it's Alma from the future here. I have a little story for you guys. I'm really excited that you have watched up to this part, because This is a really important part of my entire trip to Grand Lake, Colorado. And it has nothing to do with the retreat, but yet the synchronicities and the perfect timing and just the space that I was at while experiencing what I experienced in Denver. It's really, really cool. It was sort of like a feeling of deja vu, but at the same time newness. Like there was such a new type of feeling for the experience that I was having. The picture that you see there is Union Station. But I'll start at the beginning. So when I announced that I was going to be going on this retreat on social media, a friend of mine that lives in Denver offered to take me to the cabin from the airport because it's a 2.5-ish hour ride. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. So anyway, it ended up not working out when I arrived. But I was really, really grateful. I mean, that would have been like 4 or 5 hours out of someone's day. Like, that's crazy. But to tell you a little bit about this girl, her and I have known each other for a really, really long time, but we've never really actually have had a full conversation or even more than half an hour, other than 5 years ago when I was going through a divorce and I was telling her all about it. It just felt right, and she just listened to me, and it was very healing for me to have talked to her then. But it's the craziest thing because we've never really talked before that a lot, but we definitely have an affinity. We both have expressed this. Like we both genuinely love each other like sisters. It's the craziest thing because I don't know. Anyway, just because I don't really have this with anybody else, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we both have really similar experiences in that we lived in the U.S. and we would travel to Mexico not just in general to Mexico, but we would travel to the same town where our parents had roots. So having that experience, because it was just two completely different worlds. Like I remember going in the summers or when I had breaks from school, and then hanging out with a group of friends that she also knew, and then coming back to the US, which was a completely different world. Like school was completely different, and we had that in common. And I don't really have that with anybody else that can understand my exact experience of living here and going to that specific spot. I don't know. It's just, other than my sisters, like nobody else could really understand what I would feel throughout growing up and my teenage years and whatnot, and what it was like for me, the challenges and the cool parts about, I don't know, having like a double life, it seemed like to me. I don't know for her, but anyway, so I kept thinking about her throughout the retreat, just thinking like, as I arrived, I was thinking what certain thoughts, like what she maybe would feel like coming back from Mexico into Denver, like looking at the scenery. And I was like, I wonder, like just wondering about her and what she would think about. And then on my way back, I texted her. I randomly got an inspiration to text her as I'm in the driver's seat, and I say, because as you guys saw, my flight was going to leave at 1 a.m. We were coming back, I don't know what time it was, but I think it was like around 6-ish. So I definitely had enough time, and someone told me that from the airport you could take a train to the Union Station. So I was like, I'm just going to text her and say like, maybe we should meet there for a little bit and then I'll head back or whatever. And she actually wanted to pick me up from where we were dropping the rental off, which was perfect. But yeah, later on that night, she actually told me that the synchronicity of her looking at her phone just right when I texted was like really interesting. Like we both knew that once I got in the car and like it, I mean, we hadn't seen each other. We talked last 5 years ago, and then before that I don't even remember the last time that I physically saw her. Like if our last conversation on the phone was 5 years ago, like I can't even imagine how long before that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm getting an image of it was a long time ago, like maybe 10 years that I actually, anyway, but it seemed like no time had passed as I got in the car, and we, immediately like hit it off, and we both talked about how it was so meant to be that we were needed to have a conversation that day, and it just felt so right. But anyway, the synchronicity that I was going to talk about is that as I was arriving into the rental place, I was just kind of like nervous because it was very dark outside now, and like I didn't know if I was gonna have, the two girls were gonna head to the airport right away, and I was gonna wait there, and I didn't know what time she was gonna be there to pick me up exactly. Or actually, I did know she was on her way, but I didn't know how long it was gonna take her exactly, and so I didn't know if I should wait outside, if it was gonna be dark, because where we dropped the car, we dropped it off in the back, and it was really dark, and we had to go through this like little alley. But as we go inside, I realized that there's like a rest area and stuff like that. And as soon I told the girls, I was like, I'm just gonna peek outside, like through the little door. And as soon as I peek out, like I open the door, she is parking, and like she waves and I wave, and it was just like the timing, like it was perfect timing that we both, like I opened the door and she parks right in front of the door, and we both like see each other. It was, to me, that was really crazy. The other crazy part is that the rental car place was called Fox Rental car thingy, and that might not mean a lot to anybody else, but it actually meant a lot to me, because at the retreat and the fire ceremony, to not really go into it, but basically I really identify with a fox, if that makes sense. So it was already in my mind, I don't even know, that it was just the place that I needed to be at, like a confirmation, and also just to be leaving with her. But anyway, we ended up leaving. We went to the Union Station. It was beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. Like, it was a fancy, beautiful hotel with bars inside of it, and it was also a train station. There was people that were really dressed up, and then people that were really not dressed up like me, because I had just come from the mountains. So I don't know. And then after that, we went to go grab some dinner, and we had drinks, and then she drove me back to the airport, and we had lots of different conversations. I mean, this is the way that I have conversations. I kind of have conversations like, you can think of a computer with tabs that are like open. I'll go back to I'll go back and forth, and she was following my lead, so it was awesome. But the thing is that with everything that I was sharing, especially after being in a super, amazing retreat that I felt was very intensive in a good way, I don't even know exactly all that I was sharing. I was just like sharing what I felt inspired to. And it just, later on when I came back home, she actually ended up sending me a message and told me that I had actually given her so much in that short amount of time. So that part was just really beautiful to me, because it was a confirmation of being in the flow of me, of my magnificence, and sharing, and not being scared to share anything. It was just really, really cool, and I was really grateful for that experience, because like I mentioned, we have an affinity, and it was just really nice to be in her company and hear all about her life, and like no time had passed. Like there was just no concept of time. All we had were experiences that we would talk about, that we would, we could both relate to, especially from that little town that I was telling you guys about, and just, also with the experience of like, we just have a lot of things in common. I don't know what else to add about that, just that it was really, really cool, and it was definitely a highlight of the entire trip. I don't know if I'm forgetting something else, but it just felt really magical. And as we were walking in the street to get back to the car, and just like walking in the city next to her, and it just was our normal, but at the same time I was like, I cannot believe I'm here in this city, walking around downtown, having a conversation with you. Like, it's so weird in a good way. I don't even know if that makes sense to anybody, or if anybody has ever experienced something like that. I recently have been learning about affinities with Melissa, my mentor. So I always say mentor in a really weird way. Mentor. I think I'm making this video way too long. I will let you guys be. Thank you so much for watching all 4 videos, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Who picked me up?